All right, I'm on a hot mic. We're going to go ahead and try to start building this TV right here. So I'm going to start off with a box, and I want to make sure that besides having this box, that my edge faces is turned on so I can see the wireframe. Also, I'm going to set it onto clay so that I can see how light plays off of it nicely because clay provides me with a nice um, structure on which to know how's light going to work with this. And then I need to refer back to this image frequently. And when I watched that kid's video, I never saw the image once that he was referring to, and that's probably because he had it on a second screen. And usually I would have this on a second screen so I could be looking at it at the same time I'm looking down here, but I don't have that luxury at the moment. I'm going to have to window this. So, but just looking at that, and all right. So I've got it oriented so I can see the front, and I'm generally pretty happy with my dimensions. Um, I might adjust it a little bit here in the box settings. It does look kind of square shaped, doesn't it? The overall structure of it, the overall structure does look kind of square shaped. So if I set my length to 35 and my height to 35, and let me just set them all to 35. Yeah, I'll just assume that it's a nice cube shaped, cute little tiny screen TV. All right. Now, it's a box, and there's only so much you can do with a box. Um, I may want to initially here throw in a little additional detail, um, but I could also put that detail in later, and I think I will put the detail in later. I'm just going to leave this middle area a nice solid area because I really want to round this edge first. And so before I start adding the lines and cutting more stuff out, adding more detail in here, before I do that, I want to get this rounded edge set right here and get it looking good. So this box, I'm just going to leave all my segments at 1, 1, 1. So my length segments, width segments, height segments, all at 1. So this box is really it's just a wireframe of a cube. If I turn the skins off, you could see there's all the edges. And I'm going to right click this thing and I'm going to make it an editable poly. Now as an editable poly, I can see all of its vertices, the little red dots. I can see all of its edges, its polygons. I can see all of its polygons. And of course, as an element, I can see, the element that it is. Let me turn the skins back on. Welcome back there. All right. So I'm generally going to keep myself oriented towards the front because this thing is a square cube. I don't want to lose track of what front is. But in just a moment, front's going to become obvious because I'm going to start doing something to it. I'm going to work on the polygon level. I'm going to select the polygon here. And I'm going to use something called an inset. And the inset, let's see, in Espanol, inset means
Recuadro.
recuadro. Have you heard that word before? How about insertar? Insertar. So insert. We're gonna insert. An inset is just an insertion. We're doing an insertion. We're basically, oops, windowed booth. Thank you. With the inset tool here, what it basically is doing is, do you notice that when I applied the inset here, and granted, the default setting is an inset of 1. And actually an inset of 1's not too bad. I might want to push that to like maybe Yeah, maybe leaving it at 1 just might be good. Yeah. I look back at this thing right here. It's pretty beefy. It's pretty beefy, but it's nice and uniform almost all the way around. Um, in fact, I might only go 0.75. What this does is it pulls that whole polygon in, and it creates 4 new polygons all the way around the edge. Creates 4 new polygons, and it also creates 4 new these diagonal edges right here. And all of those things they're going to become important here shortly. And I'll just click my green check mark. I like it. I'm okay with it. And then the front of this TV, you notice now it's pushed in, isn't it? It's pushed in. So with this polygon selected right here, I'm going to click on the bevel tool. The bevel tool, now initially it pushes out. It bevels out and it bevels in some. I want to go all the way back down to 0 and just go negative a little bit. And I want to bevel into the box here. And even leaving this right now, it started off with a bevel outline of -1. And I've basically pushed it. The bevel height, I've pushed to -1. I'll just make that a nice solid, just -1. Ooh, man, I made that -14, didn't I? Just good old fashioned -1. So -1 for the bevel height. And then here for the bevel outline, -1 for the bevel outline. That looks like it'll push it in nice there all the way around. I'll click the green check mark, and that sets that bevel. Now I switch to edges, and it's got a lot of edges already selected. In fact, it's the last time I had edges selected, I had selected all the edges of the original feature, and it still has all those edges selected. Let me click out here and make sure I don't have anything selected. And one by one, oh, and newsflash, you see that little box that's surrounding it? It's got a little outline. That thing can be distracting, can it? Do you remember the hotkey to turn that off? Because I just turned it off. The J key. The J key turns, that's called the cage. The J key turns the cage on and off. I want to work with the cage off. And I'm going to grab these 4 vertices, pardon me, 4 edges all the way around the outside of the front. So I've got those 4 edges selected all the way around the outside of the front. And then I'm going to have to do a little experimentation here. Let me see. I hit the camphor tool. And it is kind of rounding there. It's not rounding it exactly the way that I want it to round it. It's rounding out. It's definitely rounding out. Let me turn that off and let me think about this for a moment. Maybe instead of, because I'm not curving around it like I want to. Yeah, it's just stopping right there. So let me add these 4 edges also. So now I've just got the whole face there. And I'm even going to throw in the little diagonal piece. Let me see what happens when I click camphor now. Woo, broke it. Don't do that. Take out the little diagonal pieces. Okay. Something weird going on here. Yep. So I'm just going to do that outer edge, just the outer edge, and I'm going to apply the camphor to it, just on that outer edge. I'll go ahead and click accept and accept that. So now I'm selecting these vertical corner edges. I click them once, click a second time, and it picks up all the way to the back. Hold my control key down, click once, click a second time, double click it. And now it's picking up the diagonal edge all the way to the back of the TV. The diagonal edge all the way to the back of the TV. I've got all four of those diagonal edges going out, and I'm going to hit the camphor tool again. Now I'm getting what I want. I just had to do it one at a time. One at a time. Just had to do these one at a time. Curl it one direction and then curl it in another direction. Let me see here. That's kind of nice. That's too round. I'll bump it up to 6. That's looking pretty. It's even round. It's rounded everything nicely all the way to the back, hasn't it? So that just started with selecting the diagonal and then applying this thing called camphor all the way around. That looks pretty good. I'm going to click accept on that. And front face is looking pretty hot. I'm going to go ahead and go file, save. I'm pleased with my progress so far. Alvarez High, Classic TV. Let's make a new folder for you guys. Fourth. Block TV 1. Fourth block TV underbar 01. That's the name I'm going to give this file. Done my first incremental save. This is a good spot for me to